general graduate. The search for job begins after the National Youth Service Corps, NYC. The male folk throw their weight around getting a high-profile job, while the ladies are busy trying to get a job and a career path that would ensure that their mission and vision is fulfilled, and also their obligation as soon-to-be married wives and mother.
How ambitious can we get when the man and the woman of the house jets out every morning to juicy meetings or run an intense 9-to-5 job? How do we achieve a win-win situation? Does anything suffer? If anything suffers, does it have to be the children? Is it the home?
At a point, some women will just have to leave their job, while those that refuse and stay on will be under pressure on what to do next. And today we'll be looking at the ideal career that a woman can take up to balance up the family and the career.
Thank you very much. On this maiden edition of Time Out with the Ladies, we are here to discuss all of these issues. And with us in the studio today is the wife General Overseer of the Foursquare Gospel Church in Nigeria. Join me as we welcome Reverend Mrs. Bisi Aboyeji. You are welcome, ma.
God bless you.
Thank you, ma. You're welcome.
Now, before we go into all the issues we have raised, please sit back as we go on a commercial break. Thank you very much. Welcome back to Time Out with the Ladies, Momijio, and we are here to discuss all the issues that has to do with career women and the Christian lady.
How easy can it get as a single lady getting a job that gives you the opportunity to be who you want to be and also prepares you ahead of what is to come? You understand what I mean? Marriage is coming, kids are going to roll in. How easy can it get? How do you balance your career and also prepare yourself ahead of the responsibilities that are to come? As a Christian single lady, you want to get a job. And as it is in our own generation, in Nigeria as it is, we have been prepared. Whatever career path you are going to take, whatever decision you are going to make as regards career is bottled up with the fact that you will soon be married. Whatever it is that you're going to do revolves around that. So how do we really choose a career path that gives us the enablement to be ourselves and also, helps us to balance our obligation as a soon-to-be wife?
Very interesting. I can really feel your pains. So, I've surmounted that hurdle. I have a home and I have a career. I wouldn't say that it's not a bed of roses. So I've been able to surmount the challenge you have now. So I have another challenge in my hand. So how do I balance this? The job is so intense, and the home front, they're pulling you. Your husband, you have a husband to please, and you have kids. You have a home to run. You have to cook the juicy meal and the balanced diet. How do I handle all of this?
Not to worry, sisters, because I've gone through it. I was once single, got married, and able to cope with the family and my career. It's not easy, that is sure, but with the help of God, one will be able to weather the storm. And that is the advantage that we have as children of God. We have our mommy here that she's going to pick up from here, from the spiritual angle.
We're going to look at the spiritual angle to this Christian lady pursuing a career. We have a lot of examples in the Bible that you can look into. One of the examples is Deborah in the book of Judges. She's a leader. She was a leader and a judge. And she was able to marry in everything, being a wife, being a judge, and also being a leader. And she was successful. We saw it in the Bible that she made a success of it with the help of God. And also, there are so many other examples. We read about the virtuous woman in the Bible with, having a lot of responsibilities to do, But with all this, God has really helped us as women to be able to cope. He has a way that He has wired the women to be able to cope with a lot of multiple responsibilities at the same time. This is God in our lives as women. So what I will advise is that we should rely absolutely on God to direct us and get instruction from God from one level to the other.
Okay, mommy, you have talked about Deborah. This permits me to ask you a question. Deborah happened to have been in existence a long time ago. Now, in the world we are in today, so the man does 9 to 5, maybe he leaves the house very early, the woman too leaves the house very early, and we have young children. So, who raises these children? Bear in mind that the Bible says that we should raise these children in the way of the Lord. So, are we supposed to leave our kids with the help? How do we cope, mommy?
Thank you very much, Faith.
Yes, ma'am.
For asking this question. Well, I will direct us to Titus 2:4-5 in the Bible. The woman's supposed to keep the home. You see, we are home keeper. And one thing about it is that we should love our husband, love our children. One thing about career to me is that we should take our career as a ministry. When we leave the career, the ministry aspect, leave the career out of ministry, then it becomes something that we'll not be able to understand very well. But what I want to point out is that our career should be able to benefit the family, benefit your husband, benefit your children, benefit everyone that is around you. If it is no more benefiting them, then we need to put in caution and ask ourselves question, why am I doing this? So we should do something that will not be injurious to our own home. And that's why I was given the issue of the Deborah. I believe Deborah must have balanced everything before she can be successful, and her name was put in the Bible for a reference.
So, Mom, should a single lady really pursue a career? A single lady that desire to be gracefully married, to be fulfilled in marriage, and should we even have an ambition? Because looking at the situation surrounding the world at large now, women are trying to, to do everything in their possible in their power to achieve success. We have examples of women that are achieving success in our world today in different sectors. And we as singles, we are looking at them. They're serving as our role models that are really making waves and making Jesus proud. They are believers, they are handling ministry, and also their career is doing well. So as single ladies, what we keep hearing is, you don't have to be too ambitious. The moment you are too ambitious, then you won't get somebody to marry you. The man will be scared of marrying you. And we ladies, we are like, God, how do we sit and balance these two? Focusing on the career and also the thought of whatever it is that you are doing, you have to be careful. You don't have to be this, you don't have to be that. Because of the kind of man you want to marry, so that when they see you, they can easily approach you. And this is what we singles are really facing these days. I'm like, should we even think about career at all? Should we just prepare only for marriage?
Okay. I would like to approach it at in this angle. And that is, God is also. He has deposited a lot of potential in our lives as a lady, as a man. And those potentials should not be wasted. God knows why He has put them there. And we should use them for the glory of God. So a Christian lady should pursue career because it's using God's potential, God's skill, the thing that the Lord has endowed her with. And she shouldn't bury it, because it may be useful for the family, it may be useful for the kingdom of God, and it can be useful for herself also and for the nation. Then the area of saying should we pursue this career to a high level? I want to give you an example. In the, the things we are seeing now has been happening, and we have examples in the Bible. We talk about Rebecca. Rebecca is a shepherd girl. You'll be wondering. You normally wonder that shepherd should be, male work, a profession of a male counterpart. But Rebecca normally take her father's flock to the well to, give them water and all other things like that. She has a profession of being a shepherd. But how did she get her husband? Through that particular profession. It was when Jacob went to the well and saw her doing that, and she helped her to do it. And they found that they are parties. And they say, this should be my wife. We're doing the same thing. I like the kind of job she's doing. If she's not doing that job, how will Jacob locate her? So everything is in the Bible to follow. We should just be doing what we know how to do. We should not waste the resources and potential of God in our life. We should manifest it. When the time comes, God will know how to match everything together.
In addition to what Mommy said, I want us to look at the fact that each and every one of us are created for a purpose. And as she mentioned, God had deposited things in our lives for us to use for His kingdom, for His glory. So when we talk about career, and as single, we are looking at which one to choose from. One thing is the fact that as a child of God, we know that we need to be in obedience to God's commandment. And when we are choosing our career, it should be the first thing to seek the face of God. Because we are talking about ideal career. You cannot see any list of careers in the Bible. But the basic thing that one as a child of God needs to look at is the fact that there are commandments to be obeyed. And as a child of God, when we live in obedience, we will go into the right career. And that will give glory to God. Even as singles, through your career, it doesn't have to be, don't be ambitious, don't be doing this, because you're a child of God and you are in obedience to what He has asked you to do, then you will be able to achieve that purpose that He has set out for you. So I just want singles to bear in mind that when you have a relationship with God, every step will be directed and there is no cause for alarm.
So, Mommy, as a single, balancing work and also relationship with God. In this scenario now, I'm not married. I'm still single. And the time that I work does not even give me the avenue to really, pray like I really want to. Now, I'm not imagining, if I now get married, how will it be? At the moment, I have a lot of things at hand that I'm doing. I work, I have responsibilities, both in church, both in school, You have assignments coming up here and there, and you just want to maximize that singleness. Because they always tell us that this is the best time you can travel to anywhere you want to travel to. This is the best season you can get professional courses and, education at whatever level that you want to. They just assume this is the best time. And we're also working towards that. But even at this point, to balance relationship with God is really, really shaking.
Please, before you respond to that, you are single. You say you don't have time. Have one boy, 2 boys, and add a girl. And let me see how you have time.
Oh,
please.
God.
Okay. The issue here now is like talking about the fact that you don't have time. 24 hours is not enough. But come to look at it. Out of the 24 hours that God gave to us a day, and we are complaining that we don't have enough time. You have to do this, you have to do that. But I always want to tell people from practical experience that it is what you have in your mind, your desire, your decision. When you make up your mind to do something, you will be able to do it. if you determine that, no, I want to have a personal relationship with God, timing will be of no barrier. Because it is in your hand to actually create time to have this relationship with God. I always tell people that mostly Christians will tell you that, I don't have time. But who is the owner of the time? When you need something, you will go all out to achieve that thing. Then you know that this relationship is key to your existence. You will create time out of no time. How do you do it? If you are sleeping 8 hours, reduce it. You can wake up early. Remember the virtuous woman in Proverbs 31. It's recorded that her light does not go out on time, late in the night. That means she stayed awake. And early in the morning, she's awake, even to take care of the family. That is an example for us. You may quickly tell me that we are in Lagos. Yes, we are in Lagos. We are in Lagos. But still, people have relationship with God in Lagos. For example, by the grace of God, my day starts so early in the morning, and my day ends very early in the evening. No matter what happens within that period, days will not come to an end until you have a discussion with your father before going to bed. So it's a conscious effort. I always tell people, don't let us make mistake of saying there is no time, because God is the owner of this time. If he decides to withdraw it, we can't do nothing.
I think the problem, thank you for what our sister Runke has contributed. But I think the problem we have as young ladies is organization and planning.
Priorities.
Priorities. That is the problem. Just as she has said, anything that is important to you, you will have time for it. So you need to create time for it. But we need to be organized. And thank God, God knows everything. It's not the day you are born that you get mature to go and marry. He makes out time for you to learn. Right, and that's the reason why we are here. Some of us, we have not been taught how to, you do our quiet time right from when we are young. And if you have been enjoying quiet time right from your childhood, there is no way that time you will like to, leave that time out of your life. It starts from the foundation. So anything that you can get from the foundation and you grow with it, you will grow with it into your career, into your family, into everything, all the days of your life. That's why we are talking here that the foundation we give to our children, very, very important, is preparation for the future. Preparation for the future. So we should know what is important right now. So when you get the preparation for the future, you key into it and you will have time for the things of God.
Mommy Adirunke, they have mentioned a lot of things that I want to touch on. Mommy went to talk about Deborah. I will pick her up on Deborah. So don't touch the dial. Just stay tuned and we'll be back. Welcome back. We're still on Time Out with the Ladies. And we've been discussing on the very hot issue, career and the Christian lady, pursuing career and the Christian lady. Now, we have touched on quite a number of things. And Mommy Aboyeji and Mommy Aderoke, they've talked on quite a number of things, which I would like to pick some of the issues they've raised. First and foremost, Mommy Aderoke, you mentioned that the woman wakes up very early. She's last to sleep. Isn't there a lot of pressure on the woman? In all of this, where is the man? And meanwhile, this same woman has gone to work all day. She will cook, take care of children, and she really wants to wake up in the morning, first in the morning, and last to sleep. She should not do 8 hours because she's a woman. Mommy, please.
Okay, well said. It is natural to react that, oh, where is the man in this? But one thing that women need to have at the back of our mind is the fact that we have the grace. God has given us the grace to be the mother of the family. Number one. Number two, time management, as mommy mentioned, is key in all that we do. In all these things, we need just to be on point on whatever we want to do. Plan yourself, waking up early. Have your time, your quiet time. Set out your time. After your quiet time, you do whatever you need to do and be conscious of time. In all that we are saying, we are not ruling out the time of rest in this. It is left for you as a woman to be able to plan your day and have enough time even to take your rest. We are not saying that men shouldn't do anything at home. But remember that we are together and we are helpmates to men. So we need to be that helpmate even in our timing. You plan yourself, put in your right timing, and make sure that no time is wasted idly. But make productive use of every second that we have.
Mommy, Abuyejima, please, before you speak to that, I also want to pick you on the Deborah you mentioned. So we are discussing about career women, and it quickly took us to medieval ages in the Bible. So, yes, I'm in Lagos. So, okay, our viewers may be all over the country and even abroad. So, I mean, the clients also matter. But for Lagos, I mean, I leave my house like 5:30 in the morning and I'm not back till 9 p.m. How do I balance all of this and still be the womb that will carry the whole house? Imagine this one womb will carry the man who is older than me and the children, in-laws. I will still cook this one womb. Mommy, is that not a lot on this one woman?
And
Because
you
she's
still
a
want to
woman.
attain that height in your career.
I've not talked about the pressure of work now. Mommy, please.
Okay, that's a good question and a good area to view. What I will want to say about this area is that, first of all, know that you are a woman. And the grace is there to carry you. But nevertheless, in all this, you need help.
Good. I want to hear about that help.
You need help. And that is why I always encourage our young ladies that they need help. Without help, they cannot be able to cope with everything on ground unless they will drop the career. But what are the help that we need? Some of us, we normally have our mother-in-laws. If you have one, I know it will drop that. This is the time to begin to rate your mother-in-laws very high. Because if you have them in your house, they will be able to do a lot of things, put eye on the children for you and do many things. You know, in those days, mother-in-law and daughter-in-law, they have like
can say that.
But now, you better carry them on high esteem. Because nowadays that you cannot take house help to come and help you because of a lot of problems that are surrounding her. This one is within. So that is when you need to know values of people that are valuable. Some of your aunties, some of maybe your own mother and everything like that. You need to bring them in. There is a particular sister that came to me concerning this issue. She was a nurse and she needs to continue with her career. And she sat down, she said, what will I do? And she has to, it was over there abroad, this house help of a thing is not very common there. But they have a company that can give you an answer. They have trained them. They have done every necessary thing and over there, everything is set. So she has to use 75% of her money that she's making to pay the house help. 75. Why? Because she wants to retain her job, because she was even waiting for a particular promotion. And she says she needs the promotion. You just need help. So you must plan yourself. Seek for help. This is not the time to begin to say, I don't want this person. I don't want that person. I don't want this one. If you still want to compare, because families are not the same. We are not the same. Where you cannot find help. And if I can tell you, even as a total housewife, you can start working from morning till evening and you will not cease.
Yeah.
I remember when I'm a laboratory scientist and I was working in Allen Avenue, a particular laboratory. My husband, we have to sit down and agree, because she will come in the night. I will come in the night. Then she said, I beg, come. What are we looking for, self? Nobody to help us. I will do all the work from morning till evening. I will come by. Then my 2 sons were sick at the same time, and I had to take permission to take them to the hospital. By the time I came back, I rushed. Said, won't you wait till I said, no, I'm going to work. I'm going to work. And I went to work. By the time my madam blasted me, you want to kill all our patients. You didn't come to read the plates. You didn't come to do this one. And when I came home, I was crying. And my husband said, what's the problem? He said, you want to work. So you find that we need to balance it up. At the end of the day, I found out that the thing I was crying, so we can manage. Even if it is thorough we are given, we can manage. I drop it. After praying.
You dropped it.
I dropped it because I can't. If I didn't drop it, maybe I won't be living today, because nobody to help me. I think I have somebody to help me. Maybe I will have continued. A good house help, a mother-in-law, or my mother. My mother will tell you, I can't leave my husband to come and sit down with you. Send the child to me. I say, no, I can't send my child to you. So you have different factors that are contributing to this. That is why I say communication is key. Sit down with your husband. If the thing is about to kill you, you better find a way around it. You can leave, there are a lot of, you can leave the job for some time. When they are about to go to boarding school, I tell somebody they are in boarding school, pick up the job. You are just going to go and be visiting them in the school. By the time they plan your family, if it is 2, 3 children you want to have, plan it. There is no need to kill yourself. Or when you know that it is, the thing is, tightening your neck and you want to die there. I must do my career. I must finish my career. And at the end of the day, you are not living to take care of the children that the Lord has given. The first ministry the Lord has given to the woman is to take care of the home.
Oh. Wow. Mommy, how easy was it for you to leave your job? Because looking at it at the moment, as a single lady, I want to be this. At this age, I want to attain this position in this career. And we already have set goals. Now getting to the junction of the fear of, okay, so hope when I get married, I won't leave my job.
Ma, why should it be you that will leave the job and not the man?
What I'm saying, that we weighed it. We weighed, this one and the other one. Which one can we leave for the other to continue the family so that we can get what we want? We weighed it. But I want to tell you, families are not the same. That's why I said we should sit down. You should sit down as husband and as a couple and find a way out. Agree. Can two work together except they agree? So you should discuss it. Communication is key in everything. When you understand, you just key in easily, because there are fears. We work because of something. I have to ask a lot of questions. If I leave it, who will do this? If I leave this, who will do that? Who will do this? How are we going to work it out? So it's a personal thing concern, and we worked it out. And we thank God. I thank God. I can say I thank God because I didn't know tomorrow, but God helped us. we go to where we're going. And that's one thing I can say. But different families are different. You may not need to leave your job. That's what I was saying. If you have mother-in-law that is with you all through, there are some mother-in-laws, they are there. Like from the beginning, they are very nice. They are there. So if you that's what I'm saying. Depending on where you find yourself, you should approach your problem and get a biblical solution that will make the family to be at peace, and also that will make the children to be what they're supposed to be, because at that tender age they need the parents very, very well, both the father and the mother.
Mommy, I hope you know that at this stage, some single ladies are already praying that they don't meet their mother-in-laws at all.
That's what I'm saying.
Because of the things they've heard, the things we've heard. Thank God for the Spirit of God, but everyone has their own banter of mother-in-law, probably what happened to their own parent or what they've seen happen to other people. And some of us are already praying, some people are already praying that, hey, I don't even want to meet my mother-in-law at home at all. So in that situation, if you now find yourself to now have a mother-in-law and that's like the only person that could help.
But situations, that's why we should have open mind. Open your mind. Don't allow another person's situation. She's bearing Esther. Are you Esther? It's peculiar to her. Don't use it to judge. Most of us, we use home video to judge our home. We should use the Bible. That is the manual for managing home. So what I'm saying is that don't pattern your home according to the pattern of another person. I'm just warning you. I won't tell you everything that went through my own. It wasn't as smooth as that. It's the summary I gave you. Then we say, it's good. Daddy is good. Mommy, no, that's the summary. But we need to, what we need to do is that let's discuss. You and your husband discuss, or husband to be. There are a lot of things when you are in courtship that you can discuss with your husband. This. It may change.
Of course, it does, Mommy.
It may change, but discuss something and have a platform to follow. When it comes to that bridge, you may change the style of crossing it. Maybe you will use bicycle to cross it, or you will use car to cross it, anyhow, or you will use leg to cross it, but you will be at the other side.
You still cross it.
You still cross it.
You still cross it.
Okay, fantastic conversation, Mommy. And if I'm also coming here to the two mommies, ma, let's go to the root of all of this. So I'm a young lady. You gave birth to me. You have told me that I can be what I want to be. I mean, you sent me to one of the best schools. I can imagine the amount of money you invested in my education. And it's an investment too. So, I now get married. Because I'm married, you want me to drop job. What happens to that investment and everything you have told me that I can be who I want to be? I can be the president, I can be this, I can be that. Now you're telling me that I can drop my job because the husband maybe is earning better. So, and because I'm the womb that carries the family, I should drop my job and stay at home. I mean, is that fair on the women folk?
That's a good question. You are seeing it at the physical. That's the spiritual lens. You need a spiritual lens to see a lot of things happening around you. What I'm saying is that, what I want to get at this question you are asking is that it's not that. That's why I say have a plan that you are running, you and your husband, or your husband, both of you have a plan that when you get to this stage, can we pause like this and divert to this side? Maybe it will help us. You can still be what you want to be. I remember a particular lady. The husband said, two of us cannot be doing this thing like this. There is somebody, we can't take house help. I think she read something like, she read a particular course, very good course, and she had an offer. But the husband said, wait, and she decided to be improving herself. Not in this Nigeria of our own, that when you want the job, you may not get
It's
it.
not even there.
But what I'm saying is that you cannot mortgage your family, your children. You understand? There must be, say, can a woman, that is in Isaiah 49, verse maybe 13, it says, can a woman forget her sucking child and have no compassion on the child of her womb?
That's why I'm working, ma.
What money is not everything. Compassion.
Mommy. Compassion.
Let's look at this. Family,
Yes, ma'am.
husband and wife.
Yes, ma'am.
Key to successful marriage is communication, unity, oneness. There will be challenges, but when the two of them are together, they will be able to weather it. Remember the fact that one person cannot say, I'm in total control of the home. The two of them have to be in alignment. And that is where communication is key. You have to sit down and look at what is on ground and how to tackle it. You know, the parents' joy is to send your children to school, be the best, attain the best. And at a point, a lady will get married and she will start her own family. Then the lady and the husband will become one. So they have to have a goal. What is the goal of this family? How do we achieve this goal? The issue of dropping the career for the woman may be applicable to you and not applicable to me. Individual differences will come in, and that is why mommy also mentioned that they need to sit down and discuss. Look at the various scenarios, because what will work for me may not work for you. So we have to look at it on a wider perspective and see, okay, how do we tackle this? In most cases, women may not be in alignment to drop their career. Mostly, women will still want to. But one thing I always tell people is, can you sit down and really examine yourself? What actually do you want? Do you want your family or you want your career? So at a point, a decision will just have to be taken. No, it's not that. If you want the two, then you need to balance it out. And I always look at career as not being only 9 to 5. You can achieve greater things even if you don't go 9 to 5. Look inward. Look at the potentials that God has deposited in you. Look at the skills. Look at what you can do even outside the 9 to 5. But all these things is good when the two are in agreement. And I had my career, and at a point I decided to step down based on decisions that we take. We agreed and we said, okay, let's toe this line. So what I am going through in my family is not the same that you will be going through in your family. And that is why I always want us to key into individual differences and the need for us to really search ourselves. Search ourselves, what do we really want? What is the plan of God for me, for my family? And even if I'm not doing 9 to 5 per se, won't I achieve the plan of God for my life? We will. And that takes us back to what I said earlier, relationship with God. Because it's Him that can direct us at every point.
I just want to say something so that we can, round up this area. Just as she has said, it's not that drop your career totally and you won't have a means of making money. You understand what I mean? For example, when I told you I started forcing food along Ilaje Road. I had a cold one thing and I started selling. But I put somebody there. I can get out of the place and go to, go and pick my children. I don't need to take permission from anybody. So there are some alternatives that you can look at the end of the day. And what I'm saying is still possible for you to get at the peak of your career. But one thing that we need to stress is that communication is key. You need to go along with your husband and agree and say, this is, have a goal, just as she has said. Then keep to that. The goal, what you intend to do may not be the actual thing, but God will reveal unto you again or direct you, let me say, on where to go. Be absolutely, follow the instruction of God, trust God absolutely, move along with God, and you will find yourself where you're supposed to be.
Mommy, you talked about husband. Now for a single lady working, I want us to believe that working in Lagos is not 9 to 5. You're practically working probably 5 to 9
To 10.
to 10 to 11. As a single lady with an ambition, you already got a job, you are pursuing that career, and now it's time to choose who to marry. I think who to marry also has a role to play in whether to submit to the fact that I would probably have to pause on my career at a point or put down some things at a point, to just make sure everything works well. But I've come to realize also that a lot of single are single. Like when they get to that point where they need to, make that decision, get married, nobody is coming. It's like married to their career, engrossed with that ambition. But really, this is what we have been told. You must become this, you must rise to this position, you must attain this level. And once we are out of school and then NYC is finished, we are running, want to work this, Are we going to get married at all?
Are we going to get married at all? I still want to ask her. So, what should I be looking forward to? What other challenges do I have ahead of me? I still need to, and how do I surmount that? We've been having very amazing conversations, and I've learned a lot. I'm sure Kemi too has learned a lot from this conversation. So stay tuned and stay with us. Don't touch the dial. We'll be back. Thank you. Welcome back to this interesting discussion. I want for me, Aboyeji and Madurinke, to respond to what we're talking about before we went on a commercial break. So, like she's saying, will this man come? And I'm married to my job. When will he come? And how will I handle it? And then, as a young married woman, what will I be looking forward to? What's the next challenge along the line?
Aside from dropping my job.
I can drop my job. And then even dropping my job, coming back later, I know what my mates would have, where would they have been. How do I handle all of that? And how do I come back healthy?
Okay. Concerning the issue of my sister, Kemi, I think.
Yes, sir.
Said, you are looking forward to the career you are doing, you want to, be what you're supposed to be in life. But what I want to tell you is that the area of marriage has to do with attitude, character, and many other things, many factors contribute to it. I believe a man is not just looking for maybe a career person. There are all other things that a man will be looking for. And that is why most of our mature ladies, I will want to appeal to them that they shouldn't so much carry their ego of career so high, because that's what sometimes, makes the man to run away and say,
I should not flaunt what I have.
Will I be able to control this person? Will this person be able to submit to me? We've seen people that have career that are even high up there and they still get married. at the time that they're supposed to get married. So one thing about it is that character, behavior, many other things, humility, and submission. The woman should know. The Bible has spoken about it. We should be submissive to our husband in all things. If you know that you cannot do that, you don't go into marriage.
Mommy,
Because it's wait, let me finish. It's Bible. Once we begin to write our own Bible, that is different from the one we have, we get into a lot of confusion and we have problems. So the submission is key. If every woman, every young lady should have it at the back of their mind that I'm going into that marriage to submit. If I cannot submit to that particular man, I don't have anything doing there, because there will be chaos.
So I really need you to explain, to really talk about this, because in this situation now, we now have a lot of definitions when it comes to submissions. We now have a lot of, you don't have to kneel down to greet your husband. You don't have to, different definition of submission. Mom, you really need to talk to singles about that.
Okay, maybe not, we are already, maybe not in the, I've said it, but submission, Bible submission is submission.
Yeah.
All other one, you are talking about culture. We have different culture. You know, different culture. Igbo culture does not require anybody to kneel down. You can shake your father. But Yoruba culture is not like that. So if you are a lady that marry from Igbo, you marry Yoruba, you must learn how to kneel down. Even if you are from America, you should learn how to kneel down. If not, they will not accept you. That one is very important in their eye. On my day, this person has culture. So those ones are culture. But when you talk of real submission, it's more than that. Submission is mystery. Love is mystery. When the man plays the aspect of love and the woman plays the aspect of submission, you will see things happening. So you need God, the Spirit of the Lord, to teach you submission. Less of many things that we are talking about is to kneel down, is to carry food up, is to do like this. It's more than that. Because there are sometimes you will be pushed to the wall in that particular situation concerning submission. You may, but you don't want to. But the Spirit of the Lord will say, that is what you're supposed to do. Then you must comply. And when you do that, that's why I say it's a mystery. And that is what God has commanded. So we should submit to what God has commanded. Both the man and the woman. Man, love. Even when your wife is not submitting. Wife, submit. Even when your husband is not submitting.
Wow. I guess we cannot even exhaust this today. So for our viewers at home, if you have ideas, you want to tell us about your opinion, please send your comments on all our social media platforms. Let's hear your opinion about this. How has it been for you as a young married woman, as a single Christian lady, the older generation? How has it been? What advice do you have for the younger generation? Let's hear what you have to say. I will continue this conversation. On this final note, let's talk about what we have learned from this conversation. And the final note, let me start from Kemi. Kemi, please, what have you learned from this?
I really had an amazing time today. I've really learned a lot of things, and I believe singles out there too have really learned a lot. As a single lady, you can actually be a career woman. You can actually aim at being married, which you will be, and also have a balanced life. As a single lady, you can have a 9-to-5 job. You can be whatever you want to be, in as much as God is number one. You are able to set priorities. You're able to set balance, know what to do and how to do it, and you just be fine. A relationship with God, amazing. I really had a nice time.
Thank you very much, Kim. If I've not learned anything today, some words I've picked from today's conversation. I've picked on communication. I've picked on goal. Set goal. What do you want to achieve? And I've also learned on the word relationship with God. It is very, very important. So it is not about the issues happening around society and everything. It's about your relationship with God and communication with your husband. that will determine. So if I'm pressured at work, stuck with your husband, whatever goal you have set, then stay by it, and God will come through. That's what I've learned from this, and I'm sure young married women like me have also learned from today's conversation.
From this conversation today, it's an eye-opener to what is really happening out there. What I've heard from the young and from the young married, from the single, it's amazing that maybe the elderly we need to reach out more because there are so much misinformation out there, and I want to encourage as many as have experiences and things to share to actually come out so that we can help the generation that are growing now, so that we will all be able to meet the expectation of our Creator. Thank you very much.
Now to have learned from their discussion, all the questions that Kevin and Faith were throwing to us, that there are pressures. But one thing I want to say, that with all this pressure, God is greater. I can see our next generation coming after us, can see them through. In Jesus' name.
Thank you for joining us on today's episode of Time Out with the Ladies. We hope to see you on the next edition. My name is Faith Oyepeju.
And my name is Oluwakemisola Aniye.
My name is Aderonke Hemorua.
My name is BC Abuyeji.
Thank you very much, and see you next time.